Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois is the #2 Democrat in the Senate and a member of the Judiciary Committee. He joins us from Capitol Hill. Senator, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good to be with you.
So as of this morning, does it look like Brett Kavanaugh will become the next Supreme Court justice?
Well, it's not clear. Of course, we have 4 members of the Senate, 3 Republicans and 1 Democrat, who have not announced what their final vote will be. There's a test vote, a procedural vote this morning, which will give us an indication.
Yes, we just went through all that for our viewers. Let me ask you, though, fellow Democrat Joe Manchin of West Virginia, will he vote for Kavanaugh?
You know, I've sat through a dozen or more meetings with Joe on this subject. He's kept his own counsel. He's obviously weighing this thing from a personal point of view. He understands the historic impact. I could not tell you as I stand here how Joe's going to vote.
Are you trying to lobby Senator Manchin?
Well, you know, it's a little different in the Senate. Twisting arms doesn't work a bit. The best thing you can do is to just try to talk it through in terms of the issue itself, in this case the nomination, the impact it's going to have on the party, on the nation, certainly on the state that the senator represents. But you don't twist arms at this level.
Democrats have made it clear, Senator, they are not happy with the FBI inquiry. What do you wish they would have done?
Oh, let me tell you, what a disappointment. I sat in that room yesterday and went through this scant survey they made of about 10 witnesses, maybe 9 at most, and I thought to myself, even these witnesses were identifying people who should have been talked to. The FBI didn't. They were clearly under orders to limit this investigation. And as a result, there were many witnesses, 8 of them suggested by Dr. Ford, 20 by Ms. Ramirez, who were never even contacted by the FBI. It was a very disappointing effort.
Senator, is there anything that Democrats in particular could have done differently to make this a less painful process for Dr. Ford?
I don't think so. I think we went out of our way to try to bend to her wishes. Remember, when she first came forward, she branded her letter confidential and made it clear she didn't want her identity disclosed. Senator Feinstein respected that request, did not want to victimize her another time, and so time passed, and that's been used against Senator Feinstein, I'd say, unfairly.
But
she was trying her best.
Specifically, Senator, based on this FBI inquiry, there is still no one that corroborates Dr. Ford's account of what happened. In fact, there is even some testimony by Leland Kaiser, her friend, that she told the FBI that she felt pressured to change what she had said. Why wasn't there any corroboration? Who should have been interviewed that you think could have corroborated her account?
Well, there could have been at least 8 people that were suggested by Dr. Ford that could have been interviewed. I certainly think that Mark Judge in this circumstance should have been brought in under oath and asked questions. There were elements of his statement that I can't disclose, but they certainly raised questions which should have been pursued.
What's your feeling about his op-ed this morning, Judge Kavanaugh's? He admits that he got a little too emotional, but he says he can return to being, in his words, even-keeled, open-minded, and independent. Were you moved by what he had to say?
No, I'm not. I understand his emotion and his anger. This has to be a terrible ordeal for him and his family, and I understand that part. But the fire in his eyes when he turned into this partisan scree is something I'm not going to forget. I cannot imagine a Supreme Court justice who would be so partisan, make such wild claims, and then asked to be put on a bench and trusted his temperament. Well, I agree with Justice John Paul Stevens. This should not take place.
Well, Senator, if he does make the court, what then does this do to the Supreme Court?
I don't know. You take a look at Clarence Thomas. He spent 10 years in sullen silence over the experience that he went through. If we go through and put Brett Kavanaugh on the court, I just don't know what he's going to do at that point. But I don't trust his temperament at this point, his demeanor. That is really a basic element when it comes to good jurisprudence. And I'm afraid he has told us things and said things that give us an indication he's not ready for the highest court in the land.
All right, Senator Dick Durbin, thanks so much for being with us.
You bet.